You get a cookie.
I got a cookie.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Wednesday's edition of the Paranormal Question of the Day. Coming next after the intro. And we're back with hamburgers and chicken and all you can see there. Chicken.
You can
I
see
had
it.
hamburgers. I'm sorry. Huh?
Chicken and French fries.
That's right. That's
You
right.
can see it.
No.
I mean, he's seen it prior to us being here.
Yes, I did.
That's true. Because I was shoving food in my mouth.
Yes.
Hey, that's that time
We
of
forgot
day,
to
right?
eat today.
We did. We came out and we came when we got up. We didn't even eat breakfast. We just got coffee and came right out into the park so we could go
Ah.
live and do stuff.
Well, you got to make most of it while you're there, right?
Yes, and just so you know, right now we're at the peach orchard. So I'm giving a
Alright.
shout out to my peaches.
Yes.
Very
And
nice.
it's starting to finally bloom a little bit.
Yeah.
Any rain? Because it's raining like hell here.
No,
Mm-mm.
it's just cloudy. And then if you look, you see those trees in the background? Those are the peach trees.
Ah,
They go like
okay.
this.
Oh, nice.
Can you see them?
Yep, I can see them. Very nice.
They're starting to bloom. All right. Hi, Sharon.
Hi,
So,
Sharon.
hey, Sharon. Hopefully
I love her.
everybody's having a great Wednesday. It's hump day.
Hump day.
And today's paranormal question of the day is Amityville. Do you believe it's real or is it a hoax? It's you decide kind of how you feel, what you feel about it. Do you think the
Yeah.
actual things
Uh-uh.
happened?
I'm not touching this one.
No.
Uh,
Give your thoughts and opinions. That's what this show's all about.
Are you
Tara, what-
recording me eating? Like, I'm trying to be eating
Oh.
off camera.
All right. I'm going to be eating.
Amityville, I think some things are true.
Mhm.
And I think there may be, a couple things, but some things. There's different stories of Amityville, and everybody
Right.
tells you differently. So that's kind of where I'm kind of skeptic on it. Like, I don't know if
But-
that sounds right. Like,
But that's
I'm not
good
a
thing,
skeptic
though.
on it, but I'm a skeptic on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. There's a lot of things that really don't get told about the story. They don't know a lot about how in the beginning that actual house was not there. There was
Mhm.
actually another house before it, and they moved that house 2 blocks away.
Hi, April.
Hi, April.
Hey, April, welcome to the show. And so with that, before even that first house was there, they had I cannot say what the tribe name was, the Indians that were there. But they had a run-in with John Ketchum, which is from the Salem witch trials and stuff.
What April
So supposedly
said? Mhm.
that his body is buried on the property somewhere. Supposedly.
I never heard anything about that.
I never have either, so that's pretty
Yep.
cool.
That's backstory. And then the Indians, because of the war that they had with each other, what they did is they buried the Indians that won, buried the bad ones upside down in right by the lake there. So supposedly some of the Indians are in the lake because of the.
But is there factual evidence of that, though?
Now, factual evidence, I don't think there is, because I think they would really have to dig up that land like crazy.
Right.
But that is what the backstory has started with. So that's why I'm putting quotations, because
Right. I love
if there
you.
is actual facts, I mean, if people know that this is all what happened, bring
Yeah.
them to light. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean,
I would love to go in and
Yeah.
just walk
See?
around and see what I pick up on.
yeah,
So-
I would love to spend a month there.
A month.
A month.
A month.
Wow.
I'm obsessed with this place. If you didn't know,
Okay.
Okay.
But so the guy that actually built that house in 1927. The original owner actually died in that house in 1961.
Okay.
So that is the very first recorded death in the Amityville house.
No, I've had a couple of friends go there and have experiences and picked up on things, which I truly trust. And April apparently has too, and I really trust her. So what the story is, I'm not sure, but
Getting my. I don't know what. Getting my. Oh, Ishka Bible.
oh,
Sorry. Go ahead.
But I mean, that's the backstory, and then that's when you have everything come into play with the DeFeos, and then everything just gets twisted on upside down its head.
mhm.
So I actually had a conversation with Christopher Lutz.
Oh, you did. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. You did say something about that.
It was a hour-long discussion, at least. Unfortunately, not on the brew. I'm gonna recontact him and see if he'll come on again. If he will come on. At that time, he wasn't doing interviews, but at Phenomenology one year, Christopher Lutz was there.
Okay.
And we talked about what happened. He waited until his mom passed away
Right.
to come out with his side of what had happened. Now, if people don't know, Christopher Lutz is the youngest boy of the Lutz family that lived in the house. He since then has changed his name. It's Christopher Quarantino.
Okay.
But when I was talking to him, he was saying that the movie portrays his stepfather to be, because George was his stepfather. He said the movie portrayed him to be this hero, like he saved everybody from the house. They were, and he said in all actuality, it was him who was conjuring up the stuff there. So, like, even before they were in there might have been some stuff that might have been happening and going on, but it was fairly quiet until the father, now this is according to Chris,
Right.
Was in the basement and was drawing like the satanic symbol on the ground and had the satanic rituals and stuff, and was like kind of trying to pull in stuff that wasn't good.
Right. Right. He was a military guy, wasn't he? George
Lutz?
I think George was a
I don't
military
know.
guy, ex-military guy.
So he might have went off the deep end. Who knows? You know what I mean? Because it happens. PTSD and this and that. I mean, things happen, right?
Well, back in the 70s, people did a lot of weird things, and that didn't really make sense. You know what I mean? Thought there might have been doing something good, but then turns out, a lot of that stuff is terrible.
And then he waited for his mom to pass away because he didn't want to bring all this, all this stuff while she was alive, I guess, because it kind of makes them look like they're not telling the truth, I guess.
Didn't the History Channel just cover this on the History's Greatest Mystery series?
Really? I don't know.
I don't think I caught that one.
Let me look real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I know
sure.
there's lots of History Channel does have a documentary about this. But far as what she is saying, that's not covered, what I've seen. Unless there's a newer documentary that's out.
March 21st of 22, the Amityville Horror. It's season 3, episode 5.
And that was March 21st, 2022.
Okay.
That it aired.
And this is on the History Channel?
Yes.
Yeah. And if I can find it, I'll actually share it on Bruce's page if I can share the episode. But
I'll definitely have to go back into it because I do have Discovery Plus, which has the History Channel in it.
Yeah.
Now, I have heard that the people there now, and I don't know if they just say that because they don't want people bothering them. Who knows? But the people that own the home now say they've never had an experience. Is what I heard.
Well, that's a lot of the prior ones would say that. I mean, the house has been gutted. It has been changed. The windows, the iconic windows, are out of the home.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just you wonder when they started gutting all this, the house out, if things have happened, because that's what happens when that triggers spirits and stuff when you start messing around with the property. That
Right.
of course they won't say nothing because yes, they probably don't want to be bothered, and probably had somebody secretly come in, you know. Um,
They probably still. I mean, if I was up in that area, I'd go by and take pictures of the house.
yeah, I mean I've seen videos of people driving up to the house and across the street and do spirit box sessions of it, and they still come up with Jody. They still come up with this house is full of demons and this and that.
Yeah, but
Which
see, that's what
demons is
people.
a swear word, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they because that's what they think they know. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's the story that's in their heads.
Right.
That's
Nobody
like
actually knows unless you actually go into the building yourself and
Right.
find out if it
Which is what
actually
I said.
happens.
Like I'm kind of skeptic, but I'm kind of like I trust the people that's been in there that had experiences.
Hmm.
But to me personally, I've never been there, so I can't tell you if I've ever picked up on anything there.
But here's the other
Right.
thing too.
The story is very interesting.
But
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
but here's the other thing too, though. I feel like if you're sensitive and you're open to that, you can pick up on a spirit anywhere,
Yes, you
or you
can.
could pick up on something anywhere. So, of course, if you go there, you may pick up on something,
Mhm.
but it might not necessarily be associated with the house and what happened there.
Right.
It could be
Right.
just that, you're picking up on something.
Now, a lot of things circle around that boathouse. That things have happened in that boathouse. So I kind of wonder.
I didn't know there was a boathouse.
Yeah, there's a boathouse. Now I kind of wonder if, like I said before, about the Indians being buried upside down, and have they in fact gone into that lake part. Is that what has caused something to go wrong with the boat and stir up energy in the boat house? If we could get factual information if that actually happened, you know.
What
Um,
did you say you heard happened at the boathouse?
well, there's energy in the boathouse. Things have happened in the boathouse. He saw faces in the water. Now, this is like in the movie, he would see faces in the water of these Indians. So,
Hmm. Interesting.
so who's playing Paranormal Brew right now? We got so many of us that go under Paranormal Brew.
Well, it's you, and then it's like April and Tom, William Nighthawk. Um, who else do I have on there? Tom Springer.
Probably Dom.
Dom hasn't accepted my editor's invite yet, so
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
it's not Dom. That might be William or Tom
Okay.
or
But yeah, like I said, I mean, this is all my opinions, okay? And if I say something that's out of context or not right, just please correct me. Just setting it out there. So, um,
oh my gosh, here, Kenny, Amityville, fake as
uh,
There you go.
well, there you go. And see, and
From
he's
Kenny's
straightforward
mouth
with a lot of
himself.
this stuff.
maybe if you get in there for a month, take Kenny with you.
Hell yeah. I
He'll
mean,
go.
I'll take anybody with me. I actually, if I had the money to buy that location, I would and turn
Wonder
it
why
into
you're
a.
so. I wonder why you're so attracted to that place.
It's one of those things. So where you got places that draw your attention and that you get drawn to, this one draws me to it because of the story and everything else that goes along with it. I wanted to turn it into a paranormal one stop where people can go in there, investigate the house, and test out new gear. That's what I would do with it.
That's a good idea. You would just
Yeah,
have to make sure, you know,
but I'm not going to buy it for $6 million.
6 million.
It was reported that it was selling for $6 million. I think it
You know
got
that's
sold.
just because of of it
The
being
name.
at the Amityville house.
Mhm.
You know,
Right, right. I think it actually got sold for 600,000.
it went from
It got
6 million to
yeah, it got lowballed pretty bad.
Which one is your sandwich?
the one that
But
has the white.
there
The
has
cheese.
been, I believe, the last time I did a report on this, 11 families that have lived in that house.
There's seeds on the bun.
So, seed happy?
Are you gonna be okay?
I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
I already ate it. What's it
Yeah, but you
matter?
didn't eat the other one.
Uh-oh. Hopefully not allergic reaction.
Maybe do you want the bottom of mine and put it on your top, and I'll just have your top?
That's fine.
Sorry, she just found out
That could
latest,
go a
right?
whole different kind of way there.
She found out she has a diverticulitis, and
Oh,
she ate a little bit
okay.
of a sandwich with
Here, take this and grab your sauce.
what?
There you go.
I don't need the sauce.
There's sauce on it. You got to eat it with the sauce.
I don't need that.
Yes,
There
you
you
do. Good thinking.
Um,
I'm just seeing what the latest one was. I got you in full screen mode.
oh yeah, no, I put that up already.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I heard that it's not, and I honestly I don't even know if what Christopher Quarantino is saying is 100. You know what I mean? Like you have to. What he told me is 100% true. I mean,
Unless you take him for a lie detector test.
I don't know him
Right. But
personally, so I mean,
I'd like to get Danny
Your
on.
car sounds like your fan kicked on.
what's that mean?
Turn it off until you're ready to go.
Why?
It just cools it down. It's not a big deal.
But
Oh, because you're charging. It won't charge when you're not on?
mm-mm.
Oh.
So I mean, I'd like to get Danny on. And I want to find his other side of the story because he uses his words very well when he speaks.
Who?
Danny.
Oh yeah,
Lutz.
we talked about this. Dan Lutz. What does he say? Because I've never seen any of his stuff.
Well,
Does him and Chris, do they like talk?
they
even
might
know.
talk. I'm not quite sure, but I know that Danny had it out with the father, with George a lot.
Well, so did Chris though.
Yeah, so they're both had it out with their fathers. But
Well, that's their stepfather.
right, that's what I mean. But he has a whole entire different story, I think, to tell than versus what Chris has to tell.
Yeah.
Because
I
he,
believe-
in his mind, he might have seen this house in a whole different kind of way. Versus
Well, it's all about
Chris.
it's all about perception
Correct.
when it comes to this kind of stuff. You know, something. I mean, me and Kayla could sit here and she could see a soldier walk by, and I just see like what looks like to me like to be like a bird flying or something. You know what I mean? But to her, she's seeing something different. You know, I mean, it is all about perception.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the most accurate thing to do is, like I said before, go into the house yourself, experience the house yourself, do your investigation, and see what you come up with.
Right.
It could be totally different from anybody else. But if people go in there and do that and come out with almost the exact same stuff, I mean, not exactly, but in the same context, then you got something there to validate about
What
the
if
house.
you put people in there that never heard of the place and don't know anything about it?
You mean like Paranormal Brew? Amityville, what's that? Oh well.
Yeah. So, so we take somebody that knows nothing about it and see what kind of evidence they get
Right. Go in
or
cold.
what they pick up on.
Go
I mean,
in
I really
cold.
think you
Your
Completely.
thoughts aren't interfered with what you already know about the place.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So William,
now-
I'll answer that really quick. So BB3 TV isn't going to send you notification because Darren's going live through Paranormal Brew. He's not going live on BB3 TV. Like he's not doing that. He's live on Paranormal Brew.
Yep.
We can
And
bring Darren over to BB3 TV, no problem.
I'm
And
also on
he
my
can,
YouTube channel as well.
yeah, but he has already 3 spots that he's streaming to, so he would have to actually buy another spot. I mean, he could always use my. I guess he could always use my StreamYard. I wouldn't even care. I mean, I have plenty of spots open, you know. So that's why.
Man. Oh. Well, we could get into that another time.
Yeah. But you would
But
have to, I think, go to like another country like that would never be able to ever hear about Amityville. Because it was a really big, I mean, it's still a big story. They're still making it. Like Ryan Reynolds was, they just, when was that movie? When did that movie come out?
2005.
Was it that long ago?
I'm not dating you.
That's
Like
all
last
good.
time I got yelled at for it. So
I know.
see, I've learned to keep my foot out of my mouth. So
But Darren has good podcasts. Would be nice to see it more. Love you guys. Absolutely.
I'll try. I mean, I like doing this stuff. I like talking to people. I like talking about different subjects, and that's what the paranormal question of the day is. I take one question and see what kind of conversation we can strike up with it.
Right.
It may be a hit or miss, but
What do you mean?
it's
You're just
there.
like Kayla, you're on. Like, there's no question. I don't have time to say no.
Right.
But
Yeah. I but again, I don't know for sure 100% if it's, I mean, back then, I mean, think about all those movies that came out. The Exorcist was coming out then.
Mm-hmm.
Amityville was coming out. You don't know if they were trying to like one up each other. You don't know if they were trying to. And
well,
back
I
then,
think The
people.
Exorcist was 79. The Amityville, I believe, was 77.
Yeah.
So
Oh
speaking
wait,
of
no,
movies,
my
though,
bad. Other way around. Exorcist was 77. Amityville was 79.
speaking of movies, though, they're
Yeah.
not really based on the events. If you take A Haunting in Connecticut and actually watch A Haunting in Connecticut, they're nothing alike.
Well, that's where we did one if it's Hollywoodized.
Right.
So Hollywood really brings into the play of these movies to switch them up to try and get you thinking to make it more interesting. When you go on paranormal investigations, what we do, not on TV, it's not going to be interesting to other people because we're staring at a wall in the dark.
Which we were doing last night.
Right. So people don't find that interesting enough, and there's a small crowd. But when you get somebody captures all this happened here, this is trickling down this road, that's making it more interesting for people to watch the movie and forget about all as to what happened. You know,
and back then, back in the 70s, people didn't know better to look up and do this and do that. It's almost like what was reported was gospel. Nowadays, nobody believes anything that's reported.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have factual EVPs that are people can easily hear what's going on. You have to have
you
that
can't say
sound signature.
EVPs are factual either.
No.
You can have. I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're
Right.
saying. You would have to have EVPs. I mean, like, because we don't even know what EVPs are.
Electronic voice phenomenon.
Yeah. I know that. But I'm saying
Too smart ass. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, it's either me or you, right?
Listen, I grew up with 6 brothers. I'm used to it.
But I mean, it's that having that validation. You ask a question and something responds afterwards, containing what that question has brought forward. Right there, you have your connection.
Darren Williams said he'll give you $20 for the Ghostbusters poster.
Oh, they make more, William.
Oh, Darren.
I bet you could get it for $5.
Well, he said he'll give you 20. What? I mean,
then you can just go buy another one and
or two.
Or
keep
two.
$15.
If I get it signed in, how much is it worth?
Wow.
But I mean, it's like I said, this place just draws me like crazy. I mean, it's
Have
a
you ever been there?
no, I've never been there. It's just that feeling that you get when I go to work in the morning. I go down a particular road, but there's a house that I always end up turning around and looking at it because it captivates me. And like, I want to go in that house. I think there's something in
Mhm.
that house because something's drawing me to that house. So that's what this does. It's the story, it's the house, it's everything that goes along with it that has that intrigue that I want to go do it. It's the same thing at the Sally house. I'm intrigued with that house too
The what
because there's
house?
less Sally's house. Have you
I've
heard
never
of?
heard of it.
No.
Girl, you need to get out more.
I've never heard of
I've never
Sally's.
heard of it either.
So William
Really?
Layhoff said, was trying to help support the show. LOL. If Darren signs it, then only $10.
That's funny. I like that. That's
Eric.
funny.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
These
Hi,
two
Eric.
lovely ladies should do a weekly show together. Just saying.
Sally's
It's
house.
in Kansas.
Yep.
Well, why would I know? I need to get out more. You act like Kansas is like the next state over from New Jersey.
It's the next state over from me. And down a
Wow.
little.
Eric,
But
I
I
don't
mean,
know if the network could handle us together every week.
hey, I'm still here, so I think they could.
We cause quite shenanigans together.
Yeah,
But I mean,
that's
like I said, you got Sally's house. You got what other famous house I'm thinking of? Oh, the Axe Burger House in Iowa.
the White House.
Yeah, the White House can be very well haunted. There's lots of series about that.
You mean the White House as in Washington, D.C., the White
Yep.
House?
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
So Lincoln's wife used to do seances and stuff in that house.
Yep,
Yep.
because she said that because she believed. I learned this. When did I learn this?
They had a
She
show
was,
on it in Discovery
her
Plus.
and Lincoln were both very into the spiritual world.
Yeah.
Hmm. I believe they had a sibling or a daughter or son that died, wasn't it?
A son.
A son. Yeah,
Son.
he was sick,
And then
but
she was so distraught, and she tried to bring him
Mhm.
back to talk to him and
yeah.
have him stay around in the house or in the White House, but it caused more chaos. Chaos.
Well, also when Lincoln died,
His room is supposed to be haunted in there too.
she actually continued to do seances for like 10 years.
Hmm. Even the
Oh,
grounds
no
are
way.
haunted as well. They have pictures posted where there's actually ghost figures in some of those photos of
I have
people
a
taking pictures.
I have a book. It was like it's like the hauntings in the hallways of the White House or something like that. So it's like there's like been a couple of presidents that have actually have experienced stuff. Now the current one I would say was just his dementia. However, all the rest
We
of
ain't getting
them,
into that one.
all the rest of them, I would say, I mean, I would probably, I mean, I think Reagan, was it Reagan that had experiences there?
Hmm.
Eisenhower. I can't remember off the top of my head. I would have to look it up because I know there were a few presidents that actually had experiences in the White House.
Absolutely, I believe it.
Um,
Absolutely. I mean, I'd be curious to see if they even have a show to have a presence that do come out and speak about it.
The History Channel and stuff, like back when I was a kid, and I'm not going
Mhm.
to say how long ago that was.
Oh, come on, we're
They
all
had
adults
stuff-
here, you know.
so they would have stuff about like Gettysburg. They would have stuff about Ireland, Washington, and
Mhm.
just different segments that I always found interesting. And I
No.
can't even find anything that I used to watch as a kid.
There's lots of
Hi,
stuff
Dustin.
I find. Hi, Justin.
I don't believe that
Dustin, sorry.
Amityville was anything like it has been portrayed in the movies. I agree.
Mhm.
But again, I don't think any of the movies, except
No.
I thought that the entity was the closest to what would have been true movie wise. You know what I mean?
Exorcism wise too being performed, or is
There
that more
wasn't a
the right, or is the right the closest to being the what
the
actual
right.
exorcism?
I heard it. You know, is a very good movie, and heard that it was close, but there wasn't in the entity. There wasn't any exorcisms or anything. It was just, she actually was like, I mean, there was a real person suffering from whatever it was that she was suffering from. The movie portrays it as I guess like an incubus, basically, that just repeatedly.
See,
I want to say, I mean, this is a strong word to use, but it's what happened. I mean, it repeatedly raped her,
yeah.
um, and attacked her and stuff. And she moved from house to house to house, and finally wound up in Texas, and that's where she died. Then, but um,
I don't know, the whole incubus succubus thing. I don't know if I really buy into it just yet.
oh no,
Um,
yeah,
I mean, there was somebody on another Facebook live show that I was on
same Dustin.
was saying about the incubus and succubus were attacking her and repeatedly raping her and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden she turns around. Now I pushed my husband on the floor. I'm like, well, gee, now that just sounds like rough sex to me. I mean, that's as far as I'll go with that. But
Yeah,
um,
no, yeah,
I don't know enough about the place to say anything.
yeah. I mean, all I know is, wasn't that the one where Ed and Lorraine Warren went into, and they got the picture of the kid with the black eyes, which I heard was
yep,
able to
peeking
be,
out of the door.
yeah, which I heard was able to, they were able to,
Debunk
somebody
it?
was able to, yeah, which,
Hmm,
I mean, you're calling out, first of all, two people that can't defend that anymore.
right.
Um,
See, I love the Warrens.
well, yeah. Oh, it's April. April's Paranormal Brew.
Ah,
I
but I mean, yeah,
That's cute.
the
I like it,
Warrens are
April.
just. I just love the stories that they went through and what they all done for the industry. Uh,
Mhm.
some people will say bullshit, but I no, I
Oh,
don't
well,
think
I'm not
so.
saying anything bad about them. I'm just
Uh-uh.
saying that I heard that picture.
Hmm.
I think Lorraine supposedly took it, maybe, or maybe somebody that was with them. Phil, I don't know. I don't know who took the picture.
See, that's kind of hard to take a picture like that and then duplicate it at that time when they were there because I don't know. That's a lot of negatives that you have to go through to try to recreate that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then you got to think back then too. Like, well, they were faking photography back in like the late 1800s. So, like, they were faking like the ectoplasm and stuff coming out of people's
Oh yeah.
mouth and stuff.
Well,
So,
look at all the photos from Gettysburg. Like the guy drug him to the sharpshooter nest and took that photo.
right,
Hmm.
that's true.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
there's a famous sharpshooter picture where the guy that came here the day after the battles, he actually moved bodies around to get these dramatic photos,
mhm.
and
Mhm.
so
I don't know. I mean, that's something that I would love to test out myself and take a picture and see if I could get the same thing. Sorry, McDonald's. I'll never eat there again.
we say that all the time.
Yeah.
I know.
But well, the one in Gettysburg is the best by far. So just so you guys know, uh, there's Annabelle, but what's the name of the other Navy doll? That's oh, what's his name? It's a boy. It's a boy Navy doll. It's
Robert,
Robert.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I got to see him in Key West.
Robert.
Yeah.
How was that?
Robert. I
Very.
don't know the story about Robert.
It was.
Oh, you're not supposed to. There's a lot that
You're
you're
not
not
supposed
supposed
to take a picture of him unless you ask permission.
to. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But what makes him like?
Something about the doll. Somebody made it for somebody, and then they believe that I think their son or somebody's energy went into it
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Much like
when he
Annabelle.
passed away. Don't quote me on that. I don't know that for
No,
sure.
no, no. That sounds plausible, but
But we obviously asked permission, and Eric took the picture.
you have a picture of it?
Eric does.
Send it to Dustin.
I was all about just paying attention to the rest of the stuff in there.
He said, if you take a pic of him without permission, that bastard will kill you.
There was
He said, that thing scares me.
yeah, I didn't do it, but my husband asked permission and took it. So far so good. But there's even a letter there from like one of the presidents for his birthday. Like happy 100 and whatever birthday.
What?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
What president did that?
Let me look.
Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty facts here.
Right. Just spitting facts all day long.
So
April,
while you're looking
April
at
saying she wants
facts,
to go. April wants to go into Amityville so bad.
huh?
See, Darren, this is
Bring me
you have
along.
something. You have something in common with my April.
Yeah. See, I mean that's the way it is. I mean, okay, Taryn, why do you go to Gettysburg a lot?
Oh, I'm not saying anything about what.
No,
you
no,
know,
no.
you're-
Do you go there because you're drawn to it?
Yeah,
See,
and I love it,
there you go.
and it grounds me. But I already
Yeah.
know this, right? I
Yeah.
went the first time I went. I didn't go because I was drawn to it.
Okay. You just went there just as a visitor to see what it's all about at first, probably, huh?
My mother wanted to come here.
Bush.
Which
Butch?
one? Dad or son?
Give me a minute.
Because Gettysburg is effing amazing. That's why it is.
That is true.
And I'm sure it is. I mean, I haven't been there yet. See, I haven't gone out
George
east at all
W.
yet.
Bush.
So I've been to
so
South Carolina. It's about as far east as I've been.
Well, my mom, she wanted to come here. Nobody else would go, and I'm like, oh my god, what is in Gettysburg? I wasn't into history. I wasn't into the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
I was into, and this is funny that April says this, but I was like just into partying and drinking and hanging out with my friends, and like I really didn't, I didn't. So she finally convinced me, and then I stepped foot on the place, and I'm like, good God, I'm like, this place is amazing, and it was an instant connection right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has happened for me like that since.
And I bet you that would be with me if you got me into Amityville. You couldn't get me to leave there, probably.
Those people that live there probably would want you to leave, Darren, at some point.
well, yeah, the people. I'll pay them I'll pay them $5.
I was gonna say you could probably pay them.
The son.
The son.
I mean, I heard, and this is kind of outrageous reports that I've heard that somebody wanted to do a paranormal investigation at the Amityville Horror House, and they were going to charge $10,000 to do it. Which I can see that.
That's because they don't want anybody doing it.
Right.
I don't think the people that live there now want any of the
Publicity.
Yeah, they don't want any of the press. They don't want. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what I feel like I heard, that they don't want.
I believe. I think that the house that's next to it is blurred out in a lot of photos because they don't want to be tied to it. It's the same thing with the exorcism house. So.
All right. So wait a minute. So much happened there. 53,000 casualties is mind-boggling. 6,000 people killed or wounded in the wheat field alone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can't walk the wheat field.
No.
That's
where I got.
Talk about that.
That's where I was in the wheat field, and I got called a bitch. But I don't think they used. I don't think they did. They use that the word back then. I don't even know. But
never know.
So I don't know. That might not have been associated with anything. But I also asked if you wanted a cigarette, and I heard a cough.
Did you tap the trees for sap?
No. But so Eric says, but it is true that the family that has lived there has experienced paranormal activity since the Lutz family in the 70s. Is it true? I heard that nobody has experienced anything.
They keep your mouths tightly zipped.
What?
The families that have been there won't say anything if it even has happened.
Oh yeah, I thought you were saying that.
Can I click that?
Yeah,
No. It's I'm just saying that they won't speak out about it because I'm sure that they want that community to die down and not have all that publicity there. I mean, they don't even want people to walk across the street in front of the house and take pictures, you
right.
know, or even drive by it for that matter.
So Kenny said, "True. No one else has experienced anything."
Hmm.
And I believe that
So,
nobody experienced anything prior to them moving in.
so you think it was like a family psychopath
Prior to
kind
who?
of
The
thing?
Lutzes?
Or not psychopath, but you
The
know what I
DeFeo,
mean?
yeah, like I
Oh,
think
no,
that
no, no. The Fails were big time into the mob and stuff.
yeah,
Uh,
but he said that the house made him do it. And that's where the story began because he said the house made him kill his family.
and
So
that's where I'm
people
going.
just
But that's where
yeah.
I'm going back in the history of the Indians and John Ketchum and all that stuff. And then if they tainted the land before they even built the house, and then also now you're building this house where all these Indian tribes were here having a mini war and stuff. You just
No,
don't
he wasn't
know.
possessed. He wasn't possessed. I think he was schizophrenic. I think it was I think he had a mental disorder for
Oh,
sure. I
they
don't
say
think he
he
was
was all messed
possessed.
up on drugs and stuff. But
And
the
that
thing
can make
is,
it if you're schizophrenic, that can make it worse. I mean, I actually know that to be true with somebody that I knew
I
that they already had schizophrenia, like mental issues, and they started literally like doing drugs, and it
Made it worse.
made it a lot worse, and the person wound up killing themselves. But
this is what I think. Okay, this is just what I think, and this is what I've heard that the night of the murders, he
oh,
had
did he? Okay.
what's that?
Kenny said that DeFeo wrote a letter while in prison. He did not blame the house or demons.
Oh,
I know
and I
at first he was saying that it was the house that did it, that made
he
him do it.
see
But
he
I
had an
don't.
argument with his dad that night, big time argument. Same thing
He was a
that
heroin addict, Eric said.
right, and he had a like I said, he had an argument, threatened to shoot him and kill him then, but couldn't pull the trigger. Later on, that the older sister, had problems as well, and said, "Oh, well, you're just like a chicken shit. Like you can't pull the trigger," and then so on. He ended up doing so, but I think she had a hand in it while he said he was gone. I think she had a hand in it as well. That's my
Well, I
opinion,
mean,
though.
if she's egging that on, and
Hmm.
if somebody is mentally unstable, you put drugs on top of that.
Right.
Yeah,
Of course. I mean, and he's gonna, and his first instinct is to blame the house, right? The house maybe do it to make it seem like maybe he was trying to pull the crazy card. Who knows? You know what I mean?
hmm.
Like you don't know. But
Well, his lawyer told him to.
and I don't think honestly, I think he was just schizophrenic or he had a mental disorder and he snapped. I mean, people do
Mhm.
it today. Look at the guy. Look at that guy a couple years back who ran from house to house to house, killing his in-laws, killing his he first started at his house and then went to his in-laws and went to his and it took him like the police were like looking for this guy. I mean, he did the same thing.
But here's the thing though. When he went and shot the kids and the parents, along with the sister, I'm including the sister involved in this. Nobody heard the gunshots, and that Marlin that he used could be heard a block away. But now, do you call that like being in another dimension of the paranormal world that nobody could else hear that gunshot at all except for him?
And it was
How
more than
how do
one
you
gunshot.
explain that nobody comes forward that they could not hear that gunshot?
But it was more than one gunshot. And I feel like it was again in the middle of the night. Now, weren't we just watching something? Oh no. So
I went to sleep. You were watching the
no,
ID
we weren't
channel.
watching. So last week, was it last week the car got shot?
Oh no, this was
All right.
a
So
while back.
anyways, their car got shot at like a while back.
Oh,
Not
jeez.
not specifically shot because it was their car.
Right.
Mhm.
It was just
Some loony
young kids.
kids, some kids were hanging out, bored, had a gun, and just shot at a couple of cars on the street, and their car just so happened to be one of the cars that got hit. Nobody heard it.
We did.
Well, you guys heard it, and the people across the street said they thought it was just somebody banging on something.
Yeah, they thought it was just metal on
But
metal.
how do you explain
It
that
is
all the
metal on
bodies
metal.
are
It's a freaking
facing
bullet.
downwards though? All the
What?
bodies are facing all the bodies are facing downwards. Before he got to the kids, he killed the parents first, and then he went to the kids. You
Yeah.
would think that the kid would get up and move, but then just lay there, all face down, shot in the back.
Well, he probably turned them over,
Hmm.
to be honest with you,
After he shot him.
I don't
after
know.
or before.
Yeah.
That's
Or
that's see,
either or
that's.
But if
before.
you do it before, you're gonna wake them up.
I mean, that's what makes this such a mystery. How all things.
I mean, no,
construct-
we just
have
don't
happened.
know I mean, like he could have did it and then turned them over. Who knows? I never heard that part. I never heard that they were all face down.
They're all face down. Yep. And then he
Um,
struggled with his oldest sister.
I
And then
heard.
that's
Yeah, I
when he
know. I
killed
heard
her.
that. Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to take a look into this because I've honestly always sat out on this one, but
I mean, it's a
Now I'm-
tragedy for sure.
now I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So,
but there again, you have now. We have put things in your head to understand what's going on, but
yeah.
take that
Now,
all
would
out
you
of it and
consider
just
the
go in it
Amityville
cold.
to be a conspiracy?
Yeah, it could be a conspiracy. It could be a lot of things.
I
That's
mean,
what
would
makes
you-
it so intriguing now how the story is.
But the thing is too, like,
I think most of the stories about house, like even the haunting in Connecticut, even like, I think it's all. There's so many things are surrounded around these things. They could be put into a conspiracy.
well, the haunting in Connecticut though, the kid was going through cancer treatments
Right.
Yep.
and he was stuck in the cellar
Right.
and
Can a cancer patient hallucinate a lot more?
Oh,
That's what-
absolutely.
from the medicine,
So-
absolutely.
Right. So now you bring that into play, like you're saying. But then
And the worms were part of that as well.
Yeah.
They were part of that
Well, that's just
story.
like with DeFeo, you at heroin.
To a
Mhm.
schizophrenic with heroin, absolutely. They will
But is it
sue
documented that
off
he
the
was
wall thing.
schizophrenic though?
No, I'm
So
saying
that's
that
what
if
you got to
you
look
saying,
into if that's actually
Right.
documented. that
I'm
he was.
saying that there obviously was a mental disorder.
Right,
obviously.
at some
Who
sort.
shoots
Right.
their entire family? You and I would do
Well,
it.
look at the
Kim would
Menendez
do it.
brothers.
Right, but there's mental disorders there. Like
They
there's
just wanted money.
obviously chemical imbalances. You could take it as far as John Wayne Gacy, and Jeffrey Dahmer, and look at all of those people. Like they're not they got chemical imbalances in their brain. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
and I can't imagine. We can sit here and say, I can never imagine I can never imagine shooting my brother or my sister, or my father, or my mother. No matter how bad things are, you know what I mean? Like there's somebody that knows the difference between right and wrong, and knows what they're doing, and has a conscience, or has some sort of the makeup of a conscience, and I feel bad, I can't do this is wrong, isn't going to do that.
So you think they're gonna say, okay, I shot and killed somebody, and I'm gonna blame it on my ADHD, because that's what the big thing is now today is ADHD, right?
No.
For somebody who has ADHD, I can tell you
Two people that have ADHD.
And I'm
that
sure I
can
have it too.
concentrate better if I'm working on more than one thing.
Yeah.
Because that's just how I work. Like Taryn will be talking and then I'll interrupt and be like, sorry, but I got to get this out because I'm going to forget.
Right.
Never in my mind would I've ever thought of killing somebody.
Yeah,
Even
ADHD.
my worst
I just threw it out there because you know how big ADHD is nowadays.
Right.
So
Well, I
that's
was
why-
diagnosed as a
that's why I threw
child
it
and
out
then
there.
it came
I'm not
with me.
saying
I
it's
hear you,
actual
but that's
factual that it causes
that's a
things to
different-
happen.
But that's a different type of.
Chemical imbalance.
I'm talking about schizophrenia. I'm talking about
Things that cause you to hallucinate. ADHD does
Right.
not.
Yeah,
If they put you
ADHD
on a
is
run, if they put you on run medication, well, maybe. But
well,
you know,
maybe.
but you never know
It
with
could be
medication
I
these
don't take
days, you know.
medication for mine, so
But
I don't either.
I mean, I just threw it out there just as just to try to make a point, but
Right.
right. But
not to offend anybody that has
No,
it, because I'm
no,
sure,
we don't get
I'm sure
offended
I
by
have it,
usually.
you know.
We got
I'm-
thick skin.
Oh, I'm
But
not
no,
offended.
no, I'm not offended at all. But it's just a different disorder, I
yeah.
guess. Like
Yeah,
where
it's
we can't concentrate on just one thing,
See,
or
it's just
we have a
like
hard time concentrating on
you
one thing.
know, members of my family have it, and we're trying to
have
teach
what?
them how the ADHD, and
Mhm.
we're trying to teach them how to drive, and they're having a problem driving because it's affecting them. So
I
now we
have to
have
have
to come
music
up with a
on.
different scenario way to fix that.
Music.
Well, we're driving around, and Kayla's like, "You want me to drive?" Because I'm like,
I co-drive. Like I just reach over and grab the
she'll grab
wheel
the
while she.
steering wheel
Hmm.
while I'm videotaping because I get distracted. I don't know how to do it by myself. Like with her being here, I'm
Uh-huh.
like, how do I do this by myself? Because I'm all over the place.
There's a
Yeah.
couple times where I'm like, Taryn, look over.
Yeah.
I'm all over
See,
the place.
and that's what driving does. It can cause that.
Yeah,
My thing
Um.
is with my ADHD and driving, I have to have music on.
Mhm. It brings that
So
balance into as what you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
Right. It's like
and it
people
keeps
use
me
the fidget
calm.
spinners when they're doing their test.
Yeah.
yeah. So say a lot of people have this misconception that ADD or ADHD, you can't do more than one thing, but you're actually more productive when you are doing more than one thing, except reading.
I hate reading. That drives me
I
nuts.
can't
I can't
read
read
and
either
do
unless
if
I have to
I'm
be
reading,
interested in it.
yeah, if I'm reading, I don't even hear what anybody else is
So
saying.
Eric said his sister killed the other children. He thought that he was only going to kill his parents and is not his sibling.
He
See?
thought that he was. I
So
never heard this
I'm
about
not
the.
the only one that's thinking
I
this.
didn't
So
either.
I never heard that about the sister.
yeah.
I don't know much about the case except
But
for
I do know,
hearsay.
yeah, and I do know that like mental illness runs in a family, right? So if he had some sort of a mental illness, it's not far fetched to think the sister had it too.
Right.
Dear God, it's
Right.
freaking hot in here.
Is it?
Well,
I mean, I have
this
my
is a
seat
very
heat
good
on, but
discussion. Like I said, I mean these questions that I
FM
put out
Pro.
here and the discussion how it has blown up. This is what I like and what I want. I want people to think about and come up with their own initiations of what happened.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah, no, I like the story.
I mean,
I
if
just I'm
if you wanna hear more of this stuff of the Amityville horror, go to I gotta promote a page, um, Raven Rose Paranormal, and that's where I do the freaky squeaky Friday night shows. That's
freaky
what we call it.
squeaky
We
Friday.
call it the freaky squeaky top 5 live, and this is with my friend Roland, and we went a whole thing on the Amityville horror.
Do you share that on the brew?
No, not currently. We don't.
Why
Right
don't you
now, it's
no, not stream it, but I mean share the show on there.
I think I did last 2 weeks ago when me and Cynthia did it, because me and Cynthia do it now.
Yeah, but you
So,
should share it every week.
well, it has to work with her work schedule.
Every anything that says freaky squeaky in it, share on the Paranormal Brew.
They'll do. We'll do. I mean, she's
Freaky
gonna start her
squeaky.
tarot card readings too, which go about 2 hours. But
What?
she's gonna start doing her tarot card readings as well. For that, she goes for 2 hours. She does one card pulls. So, but other than that, I mean, that's if you want to hear more about it, I can actually, Taryn, send you something that I did on that show. The facts, because when I was doing it with Roland, I had to actually pull up factual stuff in order to put it on the show.
Right.
So, and I'm not reading it, so it's too long of a story to read. But
Right.
um,
Well, share the story on the Brews page.
when I find it, I will share it. Yes. So.
Yeah.
So it is getting close to 3 o'clock. So what do you got going for the rest of the week there, Taryn? Who's
Well,
your
I'm here
guest
till tomorrow.
tonight? Are you having a guest tonight?
I am. Tonight I'll be doing the show from a haunted location per my guest request.
Okay.
It's Jay Hill. He has a podcast called Studio 6 Paranormal.
Okay.
He's also a medium. So I will be doing the show from on a location tonight, and and it was actually 1833 is when it was built.
Sweet.
And that's all I'll say.
All right.
Just in case Jay sees this or something like that, you know, I
I think
told
he
him I would
pops
keep
in every
it.
once in a while, but
I said I'm going to keep it a secret, and he said, "Good, I like that." So he probably figured it out by now, but um, yeah. So tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. But again, I'm going live. I'll be through in the park. We still got to go to Little Round Top. We got to go
And we're
to
running out of time.
Emerald,
Because
yeah,
oh, you only got
Little
so
Round
much time
Top
to.
and the mural and stuff like that. So
Okay.
what we don't get this time, we'll get next time.
yeah, but I can also do whatever we don't do today. I can do tomorrow.
Right. Well, don't you have to be back for a dentist appointment?
No, I'm not going to that fucking dentist appointment. That was a
so,
joke. I,
so everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you want to leave more comments, please do so, and please give us a follow on the Paranormal Brew YouTube channel, also the MGS Paranormal YouTube channel as well, and we
what's
will be back.
MGS? What's MGS,
MGS
Aaron?
MGS Paranormal. MGS stands for Midwest Ghost Seekers.
That's Darren's group.
That's my group. Yep. And we'll be back Friday at 2 p.m. And this time we will be talking about shaman.
Thank you, Eric.
We'll be talking about shamans and what they bring to the paranormal field.
You're about shamans.
Shamans, yeah.
Oh, you know we have a shaman that streams on BB3 TV. Charlie McBride, her name is.
Oh, I think I've heard that. Yeah.
Her.
Sorry. So, with that,
Okay.
for myself, Darren, and Taryn,
Thank you, Eric.
and Kayla,
Yes.
we all bid you adieu and have a great Wednesday night. So long, everybody.